Sanford Police Department. Line is being recorded.
Hey, we've had some break-ins in my neighborhood, and there's a real suspicious guy. It's Retrieve View Circle. The best address I can give you. This guy looks like he's up to no good, or he's on drugs or something. It's raining, and he's just walking around looking about.
Okay, and this guy, is he white, black, or Hispanic?
He looks black.
Did you see what he was wearing?
Yeah, a dark hoodie, like a gray hoodie.
Slavery, Jim Crow, et cetera, et cetera. And these are the reasons why we got into this, what he calls a cultural problem. But the reality is he thinks it's perfectly reasonable to suspect a black person, especially one wearing the uniform of the hoodie, which is apparently the uniform of criminals. Fascinating.
There are very few African Americans who haven't had the experience of getting on an elevator and a woman clutching her purse nervously and holding her breath.
He's got his hand in his waistband. And he's a black male.
Okay. How old would you say he
He's
was?
got a button on his shirt.
I said that this could have been my son.
Something's wrong with him.
Another way of saying that is Trayvon Martin could have been me.
He's coming to check me out. He's got something.
Those sets of experiences inform how the African American community interprets what happened one night in Florida. Black folks do interpret
They always get away.
the reasons for that in a historical context. They understand that some of the violence that takes place in poor black neighborhoods around the country is born out of a very violent past.
Are you following him?
Yeah.
Okay, we don't need you to do that.
Okay. We see in those communities can be traced to a very difficult history. And so the fact that sometimes that's unacknowledged adds to the frustration. And the fact that a lot of African American boys are painted with a broad brush, and the excuse is given, well, there are these statistics out there that show that African American boys are more violent. Using that as an excuse to then see sons treated differently causes pain. I just ask people to consider, if Trayvon Martin was of age and armed, could he have stood his ground on that sidewalk? And do we actually think that he would have been justified in shooting Mr. Zimmerman, who had followed him in a car, because he felt threatened? And if the answer to that question is at least ambiguous, then it seems to me that we might want to examine those kinds of laws. We need to spend some time in thinking about how do we bolster and reinforce our African American boys. There are a lot of kids out there who need help, who are getting a lot of negative reinforcement. And is there more that we can do to give them a sense that their country cares about them and values them and is willing to invest in them? At least you ask yourself your own questions about, am I wringing as much bias out of myself as I can? Am I judging people as much as I can based on not the color of their skin, but the content of their character? That would, I think, be an appropriate exercise in the wake of this tragedy. Each successive generation seems to be making progress in changing attitudes when it comes to race. Doesn't mean we're in a post-racial society. It doesn't mean that racism is eliminated. You know, we have to be vigilant, and we have to work on these issues, and those of us in authority should be doing everything we can to encourage the better angels of our nature, as opposed to using these episodes to heighten divisions.
All right, what is your phone number?
There's gunshots.
You just heard gunshots?
Yes.
How many?
There's one. Jeremy, get down. No, come here.
Is he no
Babe, come
longer
on.
yelling?
No one, I don't know.